Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 19, and we're going to be journeying through the book of Romans during this Lent season. Today, we're in chapter 8 of Romans, verse 5. Let me read it for you. For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. Now, pretty interesting because it's dealing with this idea of flesh and spirit. And right away, you get a sense that there is a negative connotation built around flesh, while the spirit is something that honors and glorifies God. You know, the question that I think we need to be asking ourselves today is, what is my mind constantly set on? Now, when you break down the grammar and the Greek of set their minds, it's actually talking about something that they are doing that is continuous, that is habitual. It's like a form of a lifestyle. So anything that deals with flesh, it could be an issue with lust, sinful activity, habitual lifestyle, something that really takes up the real estate of their mind. It's almost like they've made their address and they are permanently living there, and the flesh in that they're living in can only produce more things that are contrary to the Spirit. Friends, there's something about the mind that is really important, right? Because it says, renew our mind. There's something that needs to happen in the battlefield of our mind where God really wants to take control of that. Because what happens in here in our heart often gets uploaded into our minds, and then actions come forth. So, are you filling your minds and your hearts with more of Christ, or are you filling your minds and hearts with the flesh? And if you are, the Lord is just so forgiving. It's time for us to say, Lord, I don't want to set my mind on those things. I want to be released from that, and I want to be focusing on the Spirit. Now, it says specifically, the things living according to the Spirit, they set their minds on the things. That just makes sense, right? If you are of the Spirit, you think of the Spirit. Now, what does the Holy Spirit think about? I mean, that's a question that I'm asking in my time of reflection. Lord, what does the Holy Spirit talk about, think about? And I heard this one sermon long time ago where it said, like, if you were to kind of go into a room where the Holy Spirit was, and kind of the analogy doesn't really make sense theologically, but I understand where the preacher was going with. He said it would be plastered with Jesus posters. Meaning what? Everything that the Holy Spirit does leads to know more, hungers for more of Christ. So what does it mean when we set our minds on the Spirit? We set our minds to know more of Christ, to hunger more for Christ, and to be captured by Christ. I mean, just think about that. Thinking upon the constancy of Christ, the one who is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's almost like, man, I wish I could do that. And you can, because the Spirit lives in you. So the question that I think I want to raise for you and I this morning, or whenever you're watching and doing your daily devotion, is, where does my mind naturally flow when I'm bored? Have you ever thought of that? Like, when we are bored, our mind naturally flows to the things that we want to do or want to encounter. And I pray that we would get to that place of, even when we are doing nothing, our mind would naturally flow to know more and hunger more for Christ. I pray that today would be that day where you get to be full of the very heart and mind of Christ. Welcome to day 19.